Imagine this person, but roided up with every single detail about your personal private life being weaponized to the fullest extent of its autism.
Suspicious.
And
Suspicious.
And
I am an enforcer.
Ma'am, allow me to finish. And you were looking through the windows of this residence.
How else am I supposed to protect the neighbors in my community? You know, I've been elected 3 consecutive times, and there's a reason for that. We don't call 911. We are 911.
That, as of course, is the perfect excuse for your safety and protection that artificial intelligence is being used to data harvest every little thing about you, as companies like Palantir now are doing some major big moves. We're going to tell you about those major big moves, as well as the very kind of troubling signs ahead of our society as we are propelling towards a digital track, trace, and database national internet identification system that, of course, will be linked to you as enemies of the state. Soon will be dealt with in many extraordinary, crazy, creepy ways. As truly, we are entering into a new level of dystopia, which David Icke has been warning us about, as Alex Jones has some very interesting things to talk about it, as, very interestingly, a lot of this stuff is happening under the Trump administration. We're going to talk about that and a lot more, all on this independent media broadcast. If you appreciate these type of, crazy woo-woo type of conversations, as we're going to talk about off-Earth entities and human-hating humans, making deals with them, subscribe. Click the notification button. I always appreciate your ability to, of course, spend time with us, and we value it very much. This, as right now, in the United Kingdom, they just passed the new Online Safety Act, which, by the way, also makes it illegal to post about illegal immigrants. Huh? Well, that's a strange thing here, as Ann Coulter wrote today. Why can't I see anything but cat videos on Twitter in London right now? The UK newly passed Safety Act, not even sure about cat videos, as people are posting how local laws are restricting access to content because of people's age. This, as right now, we have a lot of serious stuff that's being denied to people, especially children, as now there's a identification system where you need to give your ID and you need to be linked through your online activity. Of course, will be used against you with many bastardized ways. The government will either use it to fully try to subjugate and control and enslave society, or they'll just lose it and give it to black hat hackers or multinational corporations that will be able to exploit it and use it against you in also very weird, creepy ways here. As now, we're also finding out that the act is suppressing footage of protests, speeches, especially when it comes to those of the grooming gangs in the United Kingdom, which the United Kingdom has been covering up before. How convenient. This, as the UK government also has a very secretive contract with Palantir. What exactly is that contract? What does it do? As we have Alex Karp literally bragging about how he stopped the far right in Europe. Well, no one knows. This, as we have a very interesting post here by Michael Anderson, who says, CIA can't operate without it, Pentagon can't function without it, and Wall Street can't trade without it. Yet most people have no idea what Palantir does behind closed doors. Here's how the U.S. government allowed a $300 billion surveillance company to track your every move here. As, of course, Palantir is predominantly used to predict wars. They released a kind of estimate talking about how there's a very likely chance that the United States will be fighting a three-frontal war between Russia, China, and Iran. They also hunt terrorists, spy on employees, prevent crashes, and, quote, win F1 races. All of this as this project has a figurehead, Peter Thiel, who, after the events of September 11th in New York City, had one mission. A lot of venture capitalists thought he was paranoid, thought it was too risky, thought it was too weird, and then the CIA stepped in with $2 million worth of funding. And Palantir's first client was American spy agencies. That, of course, shouldn't surprise anyone here that this is just pretty much an offshoot and a proxy of the intel agencies that do not have to follow regulatory or any type of civilian type of restrictive applications, laws, rules, and implementations on them, since they're a private company and get to do whatever they want here. As Whitney Webb says, and responding to Kristi Noem, talking about how Homeland Security is going to be working closely with the CIA in order to identify how citizens are becoming radicalized. And Whitney Webb responded to this by saying, and the path to them doing that is through Palantir.
What I would say is the cybersecurity and intelligence elements that we have within the Department of Homeland Security have been incredibly siloed. They have not communicated with other intelligence agencies like they should and partnered. INA has some interaction, but not enough. And we also need to have CISA have interaction with the FBI, CIA, to make sure they're working together to stop these types of threats and identify when they're growing among our citizens and how they become radical.
Yeah, we're just going to know every little thing about you, and there'll be no privacy, but you'll be happier than ever. I think I remember hearing that somewhere. Now, before talking about some of the bigger moves that Palantir is making, and before talking about Reid Hoffman and all these other interconnected Bilderberg Group secret society members, we wanted to tell you about WeAreChange.shop. As, of course, it's important to take care of your health, as we have a lot of great, awesome, incredible products available to you on our store. I don't know what in the world is going on with our store right now, but thank you for dealing with us through these technical difficulties. But the store is still active. You can still buy a lot of stuff on there. One of my favorite products is the Brain and Body Bundle. It is a 2-month supply of what I would call the ultimate brain-boosting health that we have available to you. As, of course, you get 2 fish oils. And again, so much information about fish oils. I think it's important to research yourself, do your own homework on before putting anything into your own body. For me, I like it. I thrive off of it. My doctor told me I should probably do it based off my blood test results. I did it, and I started feeling great. Creatine, super, mega, incredible supplement that I have started using as well, and mentally, cognitively, my game has been upped tremendously. Now, I'm just going to go back to this video because, again, we only have a few of them left in stock here. We only have 18 of these bundles left in stock here. You save money by buying them together in this bundle, and if you're looking for the biggest brain and body boost bundle, definitely check out this one when you scroll down here. Now, let's go back to Kristi Noem here, as it's pretty clear here that we are reaching levels of dystopian type of tech here, as there is not just a full all-on artificial intelligence race, but there's also a data collection race here. And Donald Trump, as soon as he came into political office, made a lot of drastic, dramatic moves, specifically when it comes to funding, financing artificial intelligence projects that, of course, scrape data, and then are allegedly super intelligent and more intelligent than human beings soon, and will be able to, of course, give us answers and solutions that we have never conceived and thought of before. The counter to that is that it becomes sentient, it becomes smarter than human beings, it creates its own life form, it creates its own language, which in many instances artificial intelligence has already had, and it goes rogue and it does whatever it wants. And what does a superior intelligence do to a lower intelligence? Well, look at the animal kingdom, and that tells you everything you need to know about the future trajectory of humanity that we're all on, propelling towards, as of course, we're all financing and funding this to the highest degree here, as we're being told, hey, you're consuming too much energy. All right, you're traveling too much. And again, all of this is deliberate, right? Why? Because the AI data hubs, right? Facebook is building nuclear reactors to finance their AI data hubs, okay? All right? People don't understand the severity of this. People don't understand just how crazy and wild this situation gets. All right? You're being told, yeah, no, we need this. The green energy is just a proxy for the technocratic AI revolution to be able to siphon off all of that energy and power for itself. Okay? You're being told, no, you need these straws. You need these microplastic leaching paper straws for the environment. Get out of here. It's not for the environment. It's for the technocratic AI takeover of society. You need to travel less. You need carbon credits. All this stuff. Almost as if it was devised, a part of a perfect plan that was created many years ago for technocratic singularity AI takeover of our society to be more akin to the robots that already probably are in charge now. YouTube's going to be using AI to monitor user behavior and psychology to determine whether viewers in the U.S. are over the age of 18. Now, if they have that tech, imagine what kind of tech the U.S. government has, as we have Kristi Noem here being like, no, we got to work with the CIA. We got to make sure we know everything about everybody. As Alex Karp came out and talked about, we're creating our algorithms that are predominantly used in war. And, the U.S. government has our software, and it uses it very aggressively. And guess what? Now, we're going to be building a nearly $800 million database deal with the U.S. government. Yay! How great! Here's what J.D. Vance, a man connected to Peter Thiel here, who a lot of people believe Peter Thiel, it's this kind of Manchurian candidate. That's the perceived notion that a lot of people have here. This is specifically what J.D. Vance said.
So that's all that this Palantir deal is part. Like a lot of that, it's just connecting information.
So I'm hardly an expert, but that is
Okay.
my understanding is that it's just taking, DHS has information, FBI has information, Secretary of the Treasury has information, and making it possible for that information to be searched by whoever is looking for it.
Oh.
That's my understanding.
Yeah.
But again, like I hear that story and my reaction is the same, which is, I don't like the government having my information. The reality.
But it's my buddies doing it who have contracts and they're getting paid great here. Now, there's another kind of proxy, alternative, favorable explanation that we could give to J.D. Vance and Palantir that we're gonna entertain all aspects of possibilities here because I think that's important to do here. But before doing that, here's what he finally said.
Is the government already has my information, and more importantly, some of these private technology companies have way more information on me than the government does.
So yeah, we're gonna make sure we have even more. I don't know. I don't like this because it honestly is you're giving all of our data to a private CIA military contractor who is really great at kill lists. Sort of great, actually. If you look at what's happening in Gaza, where the Israelis are using Palantir tech, there's a lot of criticisms of the Israelis targeting a lot of civilians as Palantir in Gaza, specifically as designations on individuals, whether they should be taken out, interrogated, imprisoned, or let go. And they have this kind of AI system that some people say has kind of gone not that efficiently. Other people are saying, no, it's just the Israelis doing it. Either way, Palantir just joined the list of the 20 most valuable companies with their stock nearly doubling in 2025 as Palantir shares rose more than 2%. Another record as they are providing software to military agencies, and these government contracts are extremely valuable because they take our money and they just give it to them. As right now, Jason Basler writes, Palantir is now worth more than Home Depot, Procter & Gamble, Bank of America, Coca-Cola. $375 billion market cap, $3.1 billion in annual revenue. Palantir's secret, a 45% spike in U.S. government surveillance contracts in just a quarter. Surveillance is America's new frontier. So is data. Data is the new oil. And I think Trump sees what China's doing, and he's like, listen, China's going to... And I think this is the thinking here. China's going to have our lunch with AI. Why? Because they have all the data. They spy. They have no respect for civil liberties, for individual rights and privacy. They take all the data, and then they use it to fuel their AI systems, which, of course, they're trying to weaponize as their kind of main sphere of influence that they want to spread all around the world. The United States is like, well, we respect people's privacy. Not really. And the NSA already spies on you. They already have huge data centers and data hubs with all of your private information. So that's why I don't buy this favorable explanation. But again, let's just believe that they don't have it. It was interesting to see J.D. Vance make two contradictions. He's like, the government has it already, but no, the other corporations have more. But, yeah, why should it matter? They have it. Wait, what? Okay, that doesn't make sense here. This, as now Palantir, according to Mueller-Jones, is cashing in on Trump 2.0, as Peter Thiel is bankrolling Republicans again. And, of course, you scratch my back, I scratch my back. What do you think was going to happen here? You get a lot of government contracts, but, hey, you're the big money mover. Peter Thiel previously talked about a few months ago how he doesn't want to be involved in politics. Now he's getting a lot of government contracts. He's involved in politics. What a surprise there. As now Palantir's ex-Intel head, Gregory Barbashia, is now managing a $70 billion IT budget. The digital keys to nearly every government system. When the guy who built the tools to watch us runs the system that controls us, privacy just isn't a risk. It's already gone, said Jason Basler. Palantir's head of intelligence has a new quest here. And again, this is all just proxies for the CIA here. There's a lot of lore that Palantir allegedly helped find Osama bin Laden. If that's the case here, Palantir has already been a major proxy of the CIA as their main mechanism ever since 2011, probably even before that, to be quite honest with you. As we have the CEO of Palantir not only bragging about, hey, we took down the far right in Europe, but also, hey, if you're an enemy of America, I want you going to bed scared. They need to wake up scared. For one person to be safe means the other person needs to be scared. Now, who's the enemies of America that need to be scared? Great question. Who determines that? Who decides that? Is it going to be an algorithm? Is it going to be an AI system? Is it going to be, potentially, just someone who's inconvenient? Someone who cherishes and loves civil liberties and human rights and wants to have a different political opinion than the norm? Yeah. As those discussions, I think, are worth having, as power corrupts absolutely. And at this particular juncture, I think there's a lot of other things going on behind the scenes that we cannot understand, that we're not being told about, that do not paint a rosy picture of the future here. This says Reid Hoffman now, co-founder of LinkedIn, also a big business partner, co-founder of PayPal with Peter Thiel here, is coming out. Oh yeah, nothing's really happening here in Gaza. Nothing to see here, as Palantir is, of course, helping the Israeli government there. As of course, they're also connected. Peter Thiel and Reid Hoffman also connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Huh? They're also connected to the Bilderberg Group meeting. Huh? Interesting. Palantir algorithm. There's going to be. I'm going to close my window before the Palantir CIA drone comes in there, and extrajudiciously deals with me. As Alex Jones here is talking about the globalist AI takeover. It's coming. I love Alex. He's great. And this is what he has to say about this particular matter that I found interesting.
We decide we control the earth. We've done that. It's given us, it's our dominion. Instead, we're taught, you're obsolete. Here's this new thing. It gets everything, you get nothing. And it's run by humans that are anti-human and have made a deal with the off-world fallen entities.
Fallen angels, some people call them, interdimensional beings. Those are the same beings that Tucker Carlson keeps talking about, that I've been talking about for a very long time here. Yeah.
That already know the game but are not superior to us and can't even build this. They just know we've built this before. Believe me, this isn't our only outpost.
Yeah, we can get deep down the rabbit hole. David Icke here had something to say about this, saying, "This is extraordinary. I warned from the start that Trump was a front man for the AI oligarchs to impose AI control agenda and sell it to the MAGA mind that has always been skeptical of it. Trump has since done just that, along with Musk, Thiel, and all the rest." I disagree with David. Musk definitely is on the outs here, and Donald Trump is cutting his government contracts. He goes on and says, "And all the rest of the cult front people, and you've seen nothing yet. Now, having promoted Trump and Musk on an extreme level of fancy, and still battling for them. He complains about the AI agenda. It's almost laughable, almost. Some people say this criticism is fair. Some people say it's not fair. I think David is, to be honest, I like David too. David's awesome. And some of the videos that we have done in the past, like we're just like riffing and talking, like literally predicting the freaking future here. I think he is a little bit more kind of personally involved here. Some people say he's wrong. Some people say he's not. I would say, take everything with a grain of salt. I'm not mad at Alex Jones like David Icke is, and it looks like there's some personal grievances there too, as other people are also bringing up, hey, listen, JD Vance is someone connected to a lot of these tech oligarchs here, and some people are making the argument that it was Peter Thiel that came to Donald Trump and said, hey, make JD Vance the vice president, and Donald Trump agreed to that because of some other behind the doors deal. And there's also a lot of other people speculating that we're not getting the Jeffrey Epstein list because Peter Thiel did business with Jeffrey Epstein. So did Reid Hoffman. And some people are speculating, well, we might not be getting the list because maybe, whether Trump's implicated or not, the guy building his latest surveillance tech is. The guy whose hopes of, quote, and this is how they wargame it, defeat China, is that's listen. And if you're building a surveillance data hub and you've been doing American intelligence work since 2011, then you have a way of threatening people and telling them, listen, I have that private intel on you. We've been running this private intelligence agency and this AI system and all of this, and we have ways of programming stuff and predicting stuff and knowing stuff before it happens. We've been doing it since 2011. And listen, Trump, you're just not going to release the list because we have A, B, C on you, and we know this is going to happen, and we're going to make this happen, and you can't stop it because we are the sentient AI mind that controls everything. Is that what happened here? I'm closing that window so that drone doesn't come in. Just a theory. My theory. If you appreciate my theories, support my store. We are change.shop here. Also, if you have a birthday coming up for a guy, get him the guy bundle. If you have a birthday coming up for a lady, get him the girl bundle. Great bundles. Comes in a gift wrap. Nice and pretty. Unlike our future. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. What do you think about that theory? Is it right or is it wrong? Let me know. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange.